It ambushes you in the shower, or at a red light, or just as sleep is arriving. The memory. The thing you said, the thing you did, the person you let down. It might be 3 years old, it might be 20. And your body reacts as if it happened this afternoon. The wince, the small physical flinch. Sometimes an actual sound escaping you, alone in the car. Everyone else involved has long forgotten. Some of them barely registered it at the time. You are the only person on Earth still holding this file open. You have reviewed it hundreds of times. And every review ends the same way. Guilty. Adjourned. Until next time. Here is what I want to show you. Why the replay never closes on its own, no matter how many times you run it. Who you are actually punishing when it runs, because it is not who you think. And a way of ending it that is not letting yourself off the hook. Something older and far more complete. The tradition had a mechanism for closing a wrong properly. Modern guilt has lost it. We are going to take it back. Look at the structure of the replay, because structurally, it is a punishment. The memory is summoned. The evidence is reviewed. The verdict lands. You feel the hot shame, and the court adjourns. Nothing is ever resolved. Nothing is ever finished. It just adjourns. And here is why. Modern guilt has no off switch. No point at which the debt is declared paid. You were never told how much shame would be enough, or when the sentence would be considered served. So it cannot end by design. You are serving an open-ended sentence for a crime with no defined penalty. Reviewed by a judge who is never satisfied because no one told the judge what satisfied looks like. Run that system on any mistake, however ordinary, and it produces exactly what you have. A wince that can still find you 20 years later at a red light. Now look at who is standing in the dock, because this is the strange part. The you of that day acted out of what the you of that day knew, feared, and could see. Their knowledge was smaller. Their fear was probably larger. Their sight was partial, the way everyone's sight is partial in the moment, and complete only afterwards. That person genuinely could not see what you can see now. And what are you judging them with? Hindsight. The clear view. The wisdom of knowing how it all turned out. But be honest about where that wisdom came from. The mistake bought it. The clarity you used to condemn that earlier self is the exact clarity their mistake paid for. You are using the lesson to prosecute the person who purchased it at full price on your behalf. We have talked before about the past being read only. The event happened once, and it is finished. It cannot be edited, and it also cannot recur. The only live copy of that mistake is the replay you are hosting now. They did it once. You have done it to yourself 500 times. The tradition looked at wrongdoing with clear eyes. And it built something modern shame culture never did. A door marked settled. Prayashchitta, usually translated as atonement, but its real function is closure, the formal mechanism by which a wrong was ended. Not denied, not minimized, not carried forever, ended. The structure was simple and complete. Acknowledge the wrong fully, without flinching. Repair what can be repaired. And then, and this is the entire point, the account is closed. The debt is paid, and paid means paid. The person walked out of that door forward-facing, because there was nothing left to serve. Notice what this understands about guilt that we have forgotten. Guilt is a signal, and signals are meant to have an off switch. Its whole job is to point at a repair. I did a harmful thing. Go fix what can be fixed. Learn what must be learned. Useful, honorable, finite. What you have been living with is guilt, with the off switch removed, which slowly curdles into something else. Not, I did a bad thing, but I am bad. The first points at a repair, the second points at nothing, forever. Which is why it can run for 20 years without ever completing. So here is the practice. It is really a ceremony you hold once, properly, per mistake. Prayashchitta, in 3 steps and a declaration. First, name it fully. Once, deliberately, not in the ambush, but at a time you choose. What you did, what it cost, who it touched. No flinching and no softening, because a closure built on a minimized account will not hold. You can write it down. The naming takes 5 minutes, and it is the hardest part. And you have already survived it hundreds of times in fragments. This time it is whole, and it is the last prosecution. Second, extract the lesson. 1 sentence. What did this mistake teach you that you have carried ever since? Write that sentence down, because it is the cargo. The pain was only ever the packaging, and packaging is meant to be discarded once the cargo is delivered. Third, repair what can be repaired. If an apology is still possible and would land kindly rather than reopen a wound, make it. If the person is gone or the moment long past repair, then the amend goes forward instead of backward. Do for someone else what you failed to do then. Be for the next person who you were not that day. The debt that cannot be paid to the original account can be paid forward. The repair does not have to reach the past to be real. Then close the account. Say it plainly, to yourself, in actual words. The account is closed. The lesson is kept. The sentence is served. It will feel strange, even illegitimate, because the judge in you has never been told to stand down. Tell it anyway. And when the replay returns, and it will, you do not relitigate. You do not review the evidence again. You meet it with the same short answer every time. That account is closed. The lesson is kept. Then return to the day you are actually in. It is the same noticing muscle as always. And each time you decline the retrial, the ambushes come further apart, and the wince loses its heat. One gentle honesty before the close. Some regrets are heavier than this, the ones tangled with real loss or real harm. Those deserve more than a practice in a video. If one of those is what you carry, take it to a person, someone wise, someone trained. Carrying it alone was never the requirement. The mistake happened once. It is the replay that has happened 500 times. And the replay was always yours to end, The person you keep prosecuting no longer exists. And the wisdom you prosecute them with is the very thing their mistake bought you. So hold the ceremony, name it whole, keep the lesson, make the repair that can still be made. Then close the account, because it was always meant to close. Guilt was designed to be a messenger, not a tenant. It delivered its message years ago. You are allowed to let it go home.